Hello, third year students. We are doing Ode to the West Wind by P.B. Shelley. Yesterday, we had read first stanza of this ode. In the first stanza, Shelley describes the activity of the west wind upon earth, how autumnal west wind carries away the dead leaves and places the seeds in the earth where they lie for the whole entire season until the spring season comes and makes them grow. And he ends the stanza by considering the west wind destroyer and preserver. Now let us move on to the next stanza. Thou on whose streams, mid the steep sky's commotion, loose clouds like earth's decaying leaves are shed, shook from the tangled boughs of heaven and ocean. The speaker continues to describe the activity of the west wind. In the first stanza, the effect of the west wind on earth is described. In these lines, he talks about its power in the air. He says, Thou on whose streams, mid the steep sky's commotion, loose clouds like earth's decaying leaves are shed. When the west wind blows with its full power, it creates a commotion. Commotion means a disturbance in the steep sky. Loose clouds like earth's decaying leaves are shed. Through its power, the west wind breaks apart the clouds, causing them to spread through its surface as the decaying leaves are shed, as the dead leaves are shed. And these clouds spread through it the way dead leaves float in a stream. Note in the first line, Shelley says, Thou on whose streams. So these dead leaves float on the stream of the west wind. Shook from the tangled boughs of heaven and ocean. And just as the leaves fall from the branches of the trees, these clouds fall from the tangled boughs of heaven and ocean. Heaven and ocean are called the boughs of clouds because heaven here stands for the air and ocean for the water. And the clouds are formed by the union of these two. Condensation of water vapors from the ocean. So the idea is heaven and ocean are the branches on which clouds grow, on which clouds are formed. And west wind makes these clouds to fall from their branches. Angels of rain and lightning there are spread on the blue surface of thine airy surge, like the bright hair uplifted from the head of some fierce Maenad, even from the dim verge of the horizon to the zenith's height, the locks of the approaching storm. Angels of rain and lightning. And these clouds are the angels of rain and lightning. They are spread on the blue surface of thine airy surge. As they are spread over the blue surface of thine airy surge. Blue surface of the air. Airy surge means west wind is now like a sea of air with clouds. Like the bright hair uplifted from the head of some fierce Maenad. And the speaker here creates a very a very complex simile by describing the storm that west wind is bringing. First, let us know about Maenad. What is this Maenad? Maenad is a female devoted follower of the Greek god Bacchus. This is a god in the Greek mythology. And Maenads are the wild and crazy women who don't brush their hair much, so they appear to have a wild look. Now, coming back to the poem, the speaker compares these thunderclouds to the hair of a wild Maenad. Even from the dim verge of the horizon to the zenith's height, the locks of the approaching storm, thou dirge of the dying air, to which this closing night will be the dome of a vast sepulchre. Even from the dim verge of the horizon to the zenith's height, and these Maenads' hair like clouds go vertically all the way through the sky from their horizon to the zenith's height, that means height at the center. The storm of thunderclouds is approaching. The logs of the approaching storm, the west wind is bringing a storm of thunderclouds. Thou dirge of the dying air, to which this closing night will be the doom of a vast sepulchre. The speaker refers to the west wind as the dirge. Dirge means a funeral song for the dead ones. And the west wind is the dirge for this dying year. Remember, the poem was written in the month of October. So the year is about to end and it's dying. And the west wind is the funeral song for this dying year, to which this closing night will be the dome of a vast sepulchre. Sepulchre means a grave. Vast means a big. And the west wind has become a burial chamber or a grave for the dying year, vaulted with all thy congregated might. Congregated means collected. Might means force, power. West wind has created and vaulted. Vaulted means an arched roof-like structure. West wind has created that vaulted roof-like structure with all its congregated might, with all its collective force of vapors from whose solid atmosphere black rain and fire and hail will burst. Oh, hear. West wind with all its power and force is bringing a thunderstorm, and a rainstorm will be carried by the west wind, and it is approaching and it will close the year. This will be like a funeral song for this year. And the speaker ends the stanza again, asking the west wind to hear him out. So Shelley in these lines has built a very complex image that needs a attentive reading to understand it fully. It strikes to our imagination and our imaginative faculties, and that's the beauty of romantic poetry. So this marks the end of the second stanza. We will take up third stanza of this ode in the next class. That's all for today. Thank you.